Hi, Fashion Dolls. I hope you all are doing wonderful today. It is Thankful Thursday, August 18th, and welcome to an all new episode of Style by Stevie. Our very special guest today is a dancer, he is an instructor, and he is a tarot reader. I'm super excited to have him here in the dollhouse, ladies and gentlemen, Malcolm McMichaels. So let's welcome him to the dollhouse. I hope you guys all are doing excellent this Thursday today. I finally get a Friday off, y'all. It's been a hectic week throughout the month of August, and we still have some more amazing guests coming on. So make sure you guys are staying tuned for next week as well also. So without further ado, let's welcome our very special guest, Mr. Malcolm McMichaels. Hello, hello. Welcome to the dollhouse. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. It is such a pleasure to have you here.
Oh, likewise. Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. So before we get into this interview, how has 2022 been for you thus far? Because I know it's been so much with this pandemic going on. I know for you as an artist and as a dance choreographer, instructor, so much more. It's been a lot going on, shutdowns and everything. How has your 2022 been thus far?
Yeah, I definitely feel that. I always claim the blessing. I always say it's
Mm.
been a blessing because honestly, a lot of us aren't here anymore. So I'm thankful to still be here. Yeah, it's definitely been a journey, but a good one full of lessons and love and all that.
And so much more to come. So let's get right into this journey. How did the world get to know Malcolm? Where did your interest and your passion for the arts, dance, and theater, and so much more come from?
Huh, that's a great question. My passion for the arts, it's like it's my heart. I started kind of late, relatively. I started when I was 16. With actually I started at 15 with theater. And I did that for a year in high school. Absolutely loved it. And then I said, I'm gonna take a dance class and fell in love with that. So I did theater and dance for like my last few years of high school. Then I went to college, theater major. Didn't love it. Um, I was taking like all these theater classes and one dance class, and my one dance class was the best class for me. So I decided to switch my major, and I've just been dancing ever since. It's a gift really because I know a lot of people have jobs that they do because they have to, but I'm very grateful to do a job that I truly love to do, and I get up and move my body and give thanks to God, and it's a spiritual thing really.
And not only that, but it's therapeutic as well too, because like you said in the beginning of this interview when I asked you how your 2022 was, we lost a lot of people. And a lot of people have lost themselves with being in the house all the time. It literally is like the walls can cave in on you. So you have to find an outlet in dance, therapy, going outside, getting that exercise that you need. Movement is what it is all about. So how important is dance for therapy for people out
Oh, that dance is it's the gift that keeps on giving
here?
because there's this thing, it's a very simple thing when you come from a scientific place, endorphins, right? When you move, your body is happy. It doesn't really matter if you're good at it. A lot of people are hesitant because they're like, I have two left feet, or I don't know what I'm doing. Listen, I was the worst. I was the worst. Like you look me up in the dictionary, you couldn't get no worse than I was at 16. But I had so much fun and like you get to exercise those uncomfortable
Oh yeah.
feelings that you can't put words to. So you put it in whatever you're doing, and then all of a sudden you feel lighter when you leave. So anything, if you could take a dance class on YouTube, look up how to salsa, whatever. Like it doesn't matter. African dance, it's there. Contemporary dance is there. Ballet is there. Whatever's your thing that you're a little bit interested in, it exists, and you can find it right in your own house. Honestly.
So for you, which dance style is your favorite? Because there's so many, like you said, contemporary, and so many others. What's your favorite dance?
I have, like you said, there are so many. I love contemporary dance very much. But I have done a lot of work as a modern dancer, so that's always going to be home base. But I can tell my life is leaning me more in the contemporary route. But to me, they're very much cousins. Like contemporary comes from modern dance, like music, right? There's nothing really new. So, hip hop comes from this and jazz comes from this. So it's very much the same with
Yeah,
dance. So contemporary dance is kind of like some ballet, some modern, some this, some that, and boom, here we are. So I like the new stuff. I want to see what's on the horizon because we know what exists. I want to see what's new and what's happening in the future.
absolutely, 100%. There's
Hmm.
so many things coming up, and the culture is definitely changing. And speaking of the culture changing, I had a conversation with an actor and director. I think it
Hmm.
was yesterday. Shout outs to Darnell Dupree. He's based in Baltimore, New Heights, Baltimore, Park Heights, Baltimore. And
Okay.
he was talking about how important the arts was. So for our youth out here that want to get into dance and theater, could you express how important it is for our youth out here that want to get into dance, that want to do something productive?
So I'm sorry, I heard you, but what was your question? Just like elaborate on it.
Yeah, like how important is the arts for our next and coming generation, the younger people
Oh,
that really want to get into it, like teens and
oh,
everything like
oh, it's essential because I mean, if I'm almost 30, right? So if the next generation just stops, then it dies. I mean, it
that.
like for that, just from that perspective alone, we can't think about every TV show, film, piece of art, museum you've gone to. There are artists making this stuff. We don't really process that. I didn't even process it until I got older. There's a person that writes everything that we read, like even the instructions on your like appliances. Somebody wrote that.
Mm-hmm.
So we need people in every industry, whether it be dance, acting, directing, writing, producing. We need people to continue to study and learn and get exposed to these things. And I'm especially drawn to younger people, like you said, teenagers, especially because I
Yeah.
was a teen that I'm from New Jersey. I'm from Jersey City, New Jersey. Woo woo. Um, we didn't have much in terms of exposure to the arts. At least my peers, we really didn't. It was very much like you did basketball, football, like you played sports, which is great, or you really focus on academics. But there wasn't a whole lot of talk about being an artist. Like, what is that? Like, I'm thankful that I had an older brother. I have an older brother who is an artist. He's a musician. So if I didn't
Okay.
have that,
Yeah.
I would have had no like concept of being an artist, what it could do for the person, how art can really change the world. Because think about the movies that you watch. Most of us get the things that we kind of think from watching TV shows and movies.
True. Yes.
So we need, especially black and brown folks in those spaces to help educate ourselves. It's very important. It's very important.
Especially for boundaries that are being broken for us as people of color that are in this business, that are in this aspect of the arts, whether it's dance, whether it's theater, whether it's production or directing on that side. We definitely have to step back on that side and figure out what works for us, what resonates for us, because we need to be at those tables in those rooms or wherever it is. And I slowly
Absolutely.
see the progression that is happening. Yeah.
Thank God, right? It is happening. It's happening, and I'm aware of the privilege that I have being this age and shows like Insecure on television, and
Oh,
like there's so much content that even when I was a teenager did not exist. So it's exciting, and so we need to let's keep this ball going because it could easily just die off if we don't participate. So I think it's great for our youth to participate.
absolutely. And get our young people involved in this, something that can keep them productive and keep their mind flowing because we're now in a day and age. You said you're about 30, and when you said that, oh God, I said my time is coming. I'm 28 for those of you who have wondered. But yes,
Oh,
we definitely
cool.
do need to impact the next generation. So yeah, I'm still a baby myself, and I know it sounds like I'm young, but like I'm mature for my age, but I'm actually 28 for those of you who have wondered. But other than that, we need to impact this generation out here. We're now in a day and age where it's technologicalized, which is a word I made up. Everything is so based
We
on
love a made up
technology.
word. We love that.
Yes, everything is so based on technology, IG, of course,
Hmm.
FB, and now we have TikTok. And there's so many dance crazes that are coming out on TikTok and so many things. But to be able to embrace the arts, I think we lost Malcolm, ladies and gentlemen. His sound went out. Unless he got a call, because when you get a call, it completely knocks your sound out. Unless you want to jump out and come back, you're more than welcome to. I'm sorry.
Am I still there? Are you still there?
Yes, you're here. You must have got a call because your sound went completely out.
Oh no, because my phone started spazzing out, child. But I
We're
closed a
back
bunch of
now.
things. Okay, good.
We're back now, and I can hear you because your sound went out completely. I couldn't hear anything. So, like I
Okay.
was saying, yeah, we're now in a day and age in TikTok. And how do you feel about TikTok? Because there's so many dance fads that are coming out. You know where I'm going with this because you mentioned it. Um, a lot of these dance crazes that are coming out are invented by creators of color.
Which
And
is
now we're
great.
seeing them being duplicated, and the people who
Mm.
originally invented them are not being compensated. What are your thoughts on
Um,
the creator on this?
wow, that's wow, what a good question. Wow, okay, so let me start by saying I am personally like not on TikTok, but I do think that it is amazing what these, especially it's really young people, like really they're like teenagers, most of them that are inventing these challenges and these dance crazes that are going crazy viral, making lots of waves and money. And of course, I'm always gonna advocate for them to get their credit and get their revenue. Um, I'm not really sure the solution to this problem because I'm aware that that's the challenge of the internet, right? You
Mhm.
post something, people see it, and then naturally people recreate it. The problem is when you don't credit that person. So I'm not really sure. I wish I could tell you the solution. I don't know. But it makes me think that when we're replicated that people can see how wonderful and popping we are. You know what I mean? It's like the ultimate flattery. It's like we're so popping that you just want to steal. It's just like mine. And honestly, I think that no amount of stealing can replace the originator because like you could do it, but there's this like little bit of seasoning that's not the same. It's never gonna be the same.
Absolutely, and it's a conversation that needs to be had because it's been going on for so long. Where content creators that are
Beyond
inventing,
TikTok, beyond this has been
yes,
going on in the music industry since forever, you know. So I don't know the solution. I just know that, like you said, if we have the conversation, then there are things that can be, put in place. Maybe there's,
yes,
honestly, if you see it, you can report it. I mean, that's a starting place, right? You can hit the be like, this belongs to somebody else. And then they'll say, I
and
think
catch
you can
on
write
to it.
comments too. You could be like, at such and such did this last year. This is not original.
Right. And we see so many people wanting to take credit from content creators of color. And it's just like,
Hmm.
wait, no, you didn't come up with this. Somebody else originated this. It was a young lady who invented a dance on TikTok. And everybody was going crazy. Everybody was doing it. Everybody, your mom was doing it. And the other person was a non-black person, got invited to go on all of these platforms. And
Right.
you know where I'm going with this. The
Uh,
black person did not get the credit. This young lady did not get the credit. So it's happening not just in the industry, but it's happening in the fashion industry. You guys know I'm a fashion girl, as y'all can tell from my Instagram down, from my stories to my main page, the feed. I am a fashion girl, and I know that there are fashion
Period.
designers out here who do not, black fashion designers who do not get the credit, and they're just you. Whereas if
Mm-mm.
it was someone that is a non-black fashion designer, they would get all the praise. Oh my God, this is gorgeous. This fabric, this garment, everything. They would get all the praise. Just like with the, you said New Jersey, I think of New York, the Met Gala.
Yeah,
Shout outs to La Roche, who is the stylist for Zendaya and so many others. He did Celine Dion as well, also. He took a lot of black fashion designers to the Met Gala with him, and I think Kehlani, she went with him also as well too. So
that's
this
awesome.
is what
That's
we need.
amazing.
This is what we
Hmm.
need, and especially in the field that you're in, Malcolm, dance for black content creators, black actors and actresses to be recognized. And we're seeing that slowly but surely, as you mentioned, Issa Rae and so many others, Shonda Rhimes, and so many others that are opening the door for people of color to get in those doors, who want to become actors and directors and so much more.
Hmm.
And for me, a lot of people
Hmm.
ask me, well, Miss Stevie, why isn't your platform where it should be at? And for me, it's not about views. It's honestly not. For me, it's what I love. It's my passion. I love to talk to people. And I said, growing up, I do have the gift of gab. I love to talk. I love to chat. So,
You
what?
do, and you do it well. You do it
Thank
well. You
you.
make people feel comfortable, it seems, which is a gift.
Yes, thank you. And I tell people this all the time. When they come here to my platform, I want people to feel welcome and at ease. One of my guests just recently said, he was very very nervous doing an interview with me, and I said, why were you nervous? All of my guests come on, I make them feel very welcome, very comfortable. We're just here talking. We're two people talking. You tell your story, and I don't control it. I allow them people to tell their stories. And we got a
Hmm.
question for you from All Fab Taiwan. Wants to know, what is your favorite part about dance? What would you say is your favorite part about
My favorite part. Okay, my favorite part, honestly, is the letting go part. We
dance?
all work really hard. I think every dancer I've ever met is a crazy hard worker for the most part. We work really hard to look good, present well, learn the people's choreography, get the right notes and everything. My favorite part is after that, letting my mind go completely blank and then just hitting the step. You know what I mean? Like going to that other place because I don't know, everybody's different, but I go to this other place when I'm really dancing, like for real. I'm not in my head. That's not good dancing to me. I'm like on Jupiter,
Oh
connected to
yes.
the universe. I don't know where I'm at, but I'm somewhere else and it feels good. So that's my favorite part. Thank
And
you
and
to that
art
person that asked that question. A lovely
and
human.
and to add on to what you just said, art gives you that feeling. It makes you go to another place. I love to write. I used to write a lot of poetry during my high school years and such. Used to write a lot, and I still do write a lot. It's therapeutic. Dance should give you that same experience. Any field of the arts should give you that same experience of, just being in a whole nother place. You can take yourself on your own adventure. And I tell people this all the time. You
Yeah.
find the self care that works for you. And for me, writing has become a therapy for me. Music has become a therapy for me. Your art is your dance. So everybody has to find that outlet and escape. And even with this platform, I said I wanted it to be an escape where people can just forget about the craziness that's going on in the real world and focus on your self care, your wellness. Because if you don't, who else will?
Okay. You said, and who else will, period. I was just thinking as you were saying that it's a way to control, not control, but to create the reality you want to see.
Yeah.
Because we're in the driver's seat. We are, that like main character energy or whatever people are talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I live for that because we are the main character in our story. So if you don't find a place to put all these feelings and these thoughts into action, because we can sit and think and go crazy if we're just sitting. But if we're getting up and like making art, if that's not your thing, maybe it's cooking dinner. That's a creative act. Creativity doesn't have to be like your livelihood. It doesn't have to be your life. It could be just, you like to play Tetris. You like to fold your clothes a certain way. Like everybody has their little thing that makes them feel good. You know what I mean? But you got to find it. That's your job.
How important, because you're also a tarot reader, and I know you channel a lot on energy
Yes.
and things. How important is personality and energy and perseverance in the field of the arts? Because I know when people get into this business, they think it's la la la. No, if this is something that you want to do 10 toes down, you have to stand in it. There's especially acting. I've sat down with so many actors on this platform, and they say that it's not as easy as people make it seem to be, especially if you're doing it live. Is a completely difference. Like if you're standing in front of an audience, let's say Broadway or something, and you mess up
Hmm.
something, the audience catches everything. That's the key word that's always been taught to me, is that the audience will pick up on everything. Whereas if you're on set, is a completely different experience, or like how we're live now. But if you're in front of an audience and you're doing a performance, and there's thousands of people out there, and you mess something
Hmm.
up, and they're going to catch on to it. And next thing you know, you see it on TMZ or something. So it's just like, wow.
That's a great thought. I want to say this. I think that you might think that, okay, I think first of all, our job is to make everything look easy. That is the
Yeah.
job of the artist. That is the whole mystery of it. Like, oh, it's so effortless. You've never said, oh my gosh, she was working so hard, because that makes the audience nervous and it makes them uncomfortable for you. Like I've had my journeys. Like I'm not speaking from a place of knowing everything or that I've just arrived somewhere, because girl, I have not. I'm very much on my journey. But I know the difference between letting the work do its thing and committing to it. Like if you and I are dancing together, I'm dancing with you. I can't be dancing with you and worrying about what it looks like and staring at the audience. Like, is she looking at me or is she reading the program? Do I smell good? Like I can't be multitask. You can't be in your head and in the moment at the
Yeah.
same time. It's the same as life. Like if you're on like a date with somebody and you're thinking about 50 other things, is that really a good date? Of course not. That's a horrible time, you know? So you just live. It's like meditation. You are just in it. And then God, I really think God is in, for me. I don't know, everybody's different, but God is all up and through
Come on.
every step for me. So like I have to be like, God, we got this, and He's like, let's go, and and I'm just riding with it. And then when it's over, that's when you can assess and say, I could have done this different, or this would have been a better choice. But you can't do it at the in like the moment,
Oh
like
yeah.
that doesn't work. That doesn't work. Yeah.
And, and in that same moment, sometimes we can be our own worst critics. Like I know I will go back and watch some of my interviews. I finally mustered up the courage to do it now, because
Hmm.
before I would be like, no, I don't watch that, don't watch that. But
It's
for me,
uncomfortable. Hmm.
yes, at first
Hmm.
I was just like, no, I can't do it. People ask me that. I'm like, do you go back and watch yourself? Now I've kind of mustered up the courage to do it without critiquing myself, because I would be like, oh,
I'm
something is
proud
off.
of
You could
you.
have, yeah, you could have did this a little bit better,
Hmm.
maybe, but everyone sees it differently than
Hmm.
in your eye, your lens, than how you see it. Do you critique yourself sometimes?
Oh, you have to. I mean, like you said it. Like, you live in this life, so you get it. It's like objectively, I don't want to look a mess.
Absolutely.
So
Yes.
yes, like I said, I in the moment I can't judge it, but then when it's over, if there's footage, I want to see that. I want to see, okay, what was it giving? And
Yeah.
then I'll be like, it was giving more than I thought. Most of the time, it's actually better than we thought. Sometimes it's like, okay, that wasn't it. All right, now I know to fix. As opposed to like, I actually used to be the worst. Oh my God. I used to beat myself up about everything. But I think God is delivering me from that. And I'm like giving myself grace. And it's like, no one is perfect in any industry.
Yeah.
And you doing something that is so vulnerable, like what you do is so vulnerable. You're putting your literal self out in the world and wanting people to respond to you. That's vulnerable. So like, I get that, you know? So I think whenever this actually, you asked a question I didn't even fully answer. Personality and energy is everything because you can be not the best at something, but people will teach you if they like you. But you could be the fiercest thing on the planet, but nobody likes you. It's hard. It's
Yeah.
hard when people do not like you. So, not to say be a butt kisser, no, but you want to be nice. Things that we can control is like being kind, showing up on time, taking a shower, like, saying please and thank you and coming as prepared as you can be. Like, no one's saying be Jesus, just do your homework and show up. And people notice that.
Yeah, professionalism is key because word travels around fast in this industry. If you're not on
Fast and
time,
furious.
yes,
Fast and
if
furious.
all of those things that you just said, that travels back to everybody, and your reputation is at stake. So you got to make sure that you're prompt, and professionalism is key. So could you stress that even in getting into the industry, how important professionalism is?
It's funny. It's key. It's more important than talent. But
Mm,
I don't even think, and I guess I'm controversial. I don't even think about professionalism. I honestly think about being a good human. And for me, it's like respecting other people and their time. So I'm not gonna show up not knowing the step because that's disrespecting the choreographer that took the time to make the stuff. If you made up this material and it was last Thursday and I wasn't hitting it, why would I show up Tuesday looking the same? I should
yeah.
practice because I know I was not hitting it. You know what I mean? And it might be this much better, but they love that it's better than they left it. But if you come up looking worse or you're like, oh, I forgot, come on, you know? And I say this because I have been that person. That's why I say this. I have been that person and I know what it's like to show up and it doesn't feel good. So if you show up, it makes you feel amazing knowing, okay, well, I spent this, even if it's 30 minutes after the rehearsal going over, all right, he said the arm is here. I want this, I want that. Shimmy, shimmy, cocoa pop. Next time it's going, I'm gonna do it a little bit more. That you get every job like that, honestly.
Go in, get it, motivation and perseverance. And not only that, but making sure that you have everything that you want to be written down, a goal list. Like I create vision boards. So make sure you
Amen.
lay
Me
it out,
too.
whatever works for you. So for me, it's just like I striked off everything that's on that vision board that I wanted to come into fruition because I created it back in 2021. And now to see it coming full circle and now 2022 and happening, it's crazy. And I love it. Like it's just like you accomplish something. You give yourself a pat on the back for doing that.
I love that. Yes, and that's that. Oh, you said that. I didn't even think of that. This is everything because it's hard enough as it is. So just taking the time to say good job, I showed up,
Yes,
I tried is everything. So yes, 100%.
absolutely. All right, fashion dolls. It is about that time to get into our games here with Malcolm. So
Oh
the first
Lord, there's
one,
games.
the first one is going to be called the Rapid Five, and Malcolm has to give us five things that he can't live without. It can be in life in general, your passions, your goals, your favorite drink, your favorite food, favorite movie, whatever it is. And then the next one, my guests get to turn the tables on me. So this is a segment I like to call Turn the Table. And this is where my guests get to ask me questions, as many as they want for my new viewers out there, because I see a lot of new faces coming in. So we're going to start off with the rapid five first. What are five things that Malcolm can't live without?
All right. I don't want to overthink it. I don't want to overthink it. my cleaning products for myself, self-care, like my toothbrush. I'm gonna put that all in
Okay.
one. My toothbrush, my face wash, all those things. I got amen. Um, um, my video games. I'm gonna put that in one. Everybody need an outlet,
Okay.
child. For me, the video games, absolutely. Um, Music. I don't know what I would do without music. I really don't. Even if I couldn't hear, I probably would just put my hand on the speaker to feel it vibrating. I need the vibrations. Um they have to be things. It's not people, right? It's things. It's
It can be
things.
people, like anything you want in your top five.
I'm just gonna say loved ones, like good people to love on you.
Mm.
I used to think I had to do it all by myself. That's a lie. Like I need a sense of community to do life. Number five. Oh Lord. The Lord.
Always.
Spirituality.
Yeah.
Always. Spirituality. I know I'm not a materialistic person. I'm sorry if that wasn't like, let me name this brand, that brand. I don't know. I just feel like at the end of the day, if I have something I could put my trust in and meditate to, pray to, think, cry to, whatever, I'm good. I could be broke as a joke, but I know God's got my back.
Yes. Absolutely. And that is his top five, ladies and gentlemen. Malcolm's top five. It
That's it.
it is now time. My heart is beating so fast. It is now time
You all right? You
to
good? You
turn
got this.
the tables. So my guests
Okay.
get to ask me questions. Malcolm is going to ask me some questions, ladies and gentlemen, and I have no idea what he's going to ask, but this is a way for my new viewers to get to know who the hostess is, Miss Stevie, myself. My co-host Johnny isn't here today to put me in the hot seat also as well too. So it's sort of a lightweight on me. So go ahead, Malcolm.
Mm, okay. Miss Stevie. What I want to ask Miss Stevie. Um, how long has it been your dream to do this type of work? Because I feel your energy even through the phone that you really love people and interviewing. And has this been a long time dream of yours? How did this come about?
It started off when I was younger, believe it or not, and we all say what when we're young. We want to be a doctor. We want to be a firefighter. We want to be anybody that's in there. We want to be a police officer. We want to do all of these things at a young age. But for me, it was the complete opposite. My
Hmm.
grandmother, because she used to do hair a lot, and y'all can tell I'm a hair girl, uh, would buy the
The
little
hair is on.
relaxer boxes and stuff.
Mhm.
The women in my family would relax their hair and give me the boxes, and I would line them all up on because my dad had like those little shelves back in the day, those little wooden shelves, and I would line them all up and interview them like their studio audience, and I would grab the little thing, you crush the
Oh,
microphone.
that is so cute.
Yes, that was me back in the day when I started. So it started off at a very young age, and I said I'm gonna be one of those girls on that box, but this time I'm gonna be one of those girls on that box interviewing somebody. I'm gonna make it big. But I said this, I'm gonna get in this for the right reasons. This is something that I love. I love to talk to people, and it's always been a gift that I've had. My mom even said that baby likes to talk. That one right there, that one is going to be the most outspoken one. And it turned out actually to be the most complete opposite because my brother is a little bit younger than me and he's the most outspoken. We both look the same, but he's the most outspoken. So if you take away the lashes and everything, you will have a walking another version of me walking around here somewhere.
Your twin.
So I do have a brother that looks exactly like me, but he's the most outspoken. He's a Cancer. I'm a Scorpio. So we already know who has the most power and who's the most talkative. And it turned out different. So started off
Y'all
very
got
young.
that water connection.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love that. Okay. See, you ready. See, I asked you a random question. You was just like, oh, I got this. I want to ask you something random. Um, One of those typical funny questions, like if you were stranded on a desert island and you only could bring three things, what would they be and why?
Uh, Gotta protect the melanin. So I would say the first thing would be sunscreen because you're gonna be out there in the sun. Um,
Amen.
Another
Amen.
thing, well, it's already water out there on the island, so I would have to, I would already get water. Um,
Yeah, that's a pass. You get two more things. You got the water.
okay, what's another thing that I would bring on the island with me if I'm stranded on an island? Oh my
Like,
God.
what you gonna do for fun? You out there. It's just you. How you gonna have fun? What's the fun?
What would I do for fun? Because us black girls, when our hair get in the water, we know what happens with that. So we Miss Stevie ain't getting in the water. So we can count that out. We can count that out. Um, what would I
what if I
do for
threw in a
fun?
wave cat? What if I threw in a wave cat as a bonus, like a little asterisk? Okay, a little
That'll
cat.
work. That'll
Okay,
work.
so
Yeah.
okay.
Yes, that'll work. I'll probably be sitting by the beach side reading a book, because I love to read.
I
Reading
got that
occupies
vibe.
my
I
time.
felt like you were gonna say a
Yes,
book. I felt like you were gonna say a book.
I'm a bookworm. I've always got my head in the book. Leave me alone, I'm a Yankee. She even talks in her sleep. I don't know where the talkativeness came from because I wasn't always outspoken, but I guess it came from my father's side of the family. I think I picked it up from my father because my father has taught me to be bold and stand up and take charge of what is rightfully yours. You know, you deserved it. You worked for it. So,
You just sound like an actualized human. You just sound like you in your skin and you just like, hey, what's
yeah,
up?
I'm not hard to please. I just sort of go with the flow. So if I'm stuck in a situation like that, when I'm stuck on an island, I will bring a book with me, of course. A crossword puzzle. Listen, don't judge me. I do crossword puzzles as
No,
well.
they're
Also,
fun.
yeah,
They are fun. They are fun. I like
something to pass
Sudoku
time by.
personally. I get it. I get it.
I have to be doing something. Like I just can't. I've always been the type of person I can't sit still. I always have to be doing something. So I would have to say a crossword puzzle, a book, some sunscreen, definitely that wave cap because your girl is not trying to get her hair wet. That us black girls with that and water, especially if you just got that fresh relaxer. Soon as that
Nope.
water hit that hair, baby,
It's a
it's
it's a
done
wrap.
deal.
It's a wrap. No, it's
Mm.
protected. Of course, that don't even count. That's always we gonna
Yeah.
protect the hair. Yes, yes.
So that would be my things I would bring to the island with me, definitely.
You're so confident. You're like, I'm ready for the island. Should I ask you something else? Let me think. Let me think. I'm moving my hair to the side.
As
I'm
many as you
thinking.
want.
You answered one question. You said you were a Scorpio. Do you just have one sibling or you have more than one?
Well, believe it or not, I have four brothers. One is in New York, one is in North Carolina, the other one's in Charleston, and then I have another one down here in South Carolina with me also. So I have four brothers and I have
Oh, so
two
that was my
sisters.
next question. You're in South Carolina.
Yes. Yes, I'm a Southern girl. And I know for us down here in the South, we get such a rep. Like we talk a certain way, like we talk like this, but it's no, it's the complete opposite. Some people have an
I
accent.
actually I
Yeah.
did. I didn't catch it. I didn't catch it. And I have a good ear and I didn't even notice. So
Yeah, that Southern,
not that there's
some
anything
people
wrong
have the
with it.
Southern draw. Yeah. But I haven't been blessed with that. Now my grandmother is it's really deep. Like you can really tell she was from the country, like down here from down south. But my
Mm.
mom has it too, somewhat. But me, I guess I haven't gotten it. But yeah, Southern girl.
Come on, Southern girl. Is the goal to be based in like Los Angeles or a different place, or you're like, I'm about to make South Carolina it, baby. I'm about to flip this state and make it real pop. Like, what's the goal?
I would love to go worldwide for this platform to go worldwide. And luckily, with the pandemic, unfortunately, it sucks for all of us.
Hmm.
I would love for it to be all over internationally, to be able to do in-person shows, in studio and things like that. But we can't due to the guidelines and everything.
Not
But
yet. Just give it
yeah,
time. Remember what I
yeah,
said about the North? You gotta be like, woo, and put that on the
absolutely.
board. I'm sure that's on the board.
That is actually one of the things on my board. I'm looking at it over there across the room, and that is one of the things on the board. But I would love to be international worldwide. I would love for this platform to, but thank God for the power of technology that be. You have viewers from Los Angeles, you have viewers from New York, you have viewers from New Jersey, you have some from South Carolina. It's a mix, and I love being able to socialize with everybody all over the world. Thank God for technology.
It's a beautiful time. You can make anything happen. Like I said, we talked about Issa. She started on YouTube. So
Hmm. Who
there's
knows?
another girl too that started on Instagram. What's her name? What's her name? She just got a show on Showtime. Z-Way. You know Z-Way? You should look her
Yep.
up. She started just like this, just like this,
You
and
never
now
know
she has
where
a
your
show on.
Alan Yankee hair is going to be looking like Samuel Jackson in Pulp Fiction if you get in the water. And thank God for swimming caps. So yeah,
Oh yes, we're gonna invest in swimming caps. We're not playing with the hair. No, we're not. Mm-mm. You get a lifetime supply if you go to the islands.
yes, because our hair, us black girls and our hair, when we get in that water, especially if you've got that naturally curly hair, that hair that just, and your hair is accustomed, you're accustomed to getting into water. But if you're relaxed, like me, my hair is relaxed, and you just got that fresh relax. I mean, that hair is sleek, shiny, bone straight, like the lady on the box. And you get in the water, and one drop of water touch your hair, it's poop. I had a girlfriend that happened to when I went to her graduation, and it was raining right after we got out. When they called everybody out and everything, and we were at the end of the graduation, it was raining outside. Everybody went to greet everybody, so we literally had to run. And I said, "Oh my God, girl, your hair, what happened?" So we got in the car. Her hair was standing up on her head, so her hair got wet. She just got it pressed and everything. So I'm like, oh
Oh
yeah,
Lord.
yeah, yeah.
Well, it's okay. It happens to the best of us. It's okay. I'm trying to think. Is there anything else that I can ask you? I don't know. I'm not as sophisticated with these things as you. You got the things like laid out. I know you got it bullet pointed, and you're like, "Tuh, tuh, 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 tuh."
Y'all see me over here looking at these cards and stuff. Like I try to keep everything on tab for each interview. So yeah.
Hmm. Do you know? Speaking of signs, do you know like your full chart, or are you just familiar with your sun sign, which is Scorpio?
I'm just familiar with my sun sign. I've never went that deep to see, who
Oh,
I'm
you should.
compatible
You
with,
should.
things
You
like
should. You
that.
should. You should. You should. Because it's interesting because we all know the day we're born is like, your sun sign. But then there's your moon sign, your rising sign. There's all these
Mm.
other aspects that if you know the time that you were born and the location, there was like the moon and the stars were all in a certain alignment that time that you were born, and that tells
Ah.
the more complete story. So if you know the time of birth, you can Google full birth chart and it'll blow your mind.
And I'm a Halloween baby. That's the thing. My brother is a Valentine's Day baby. His is in February and mine is in October. So it'll be here
Wow.
way before you know it.
Oh,
So
your
yeah.
birthday is really soon. Wow.
Hmm.
And then you guys are both fixed signs. So you guys are both very like this.
Yes, and he's straightforward as well too. He's straightforward as well too. My sister, rest her soul, she was very straightforward. So it's like we all inherit traits of each other, and everybody says that we are our parents' children. So there's a little bit of my mom inside of me. There's a little bit of my mom inside of him. There's a little bit of my mom inside of my sister, and you see the characteristics. And the scary part is me, my mom, and my brother look alike, exactly alike. Like my brother he just came down here not too long ago. So yeah.
Oh. Well, we love that. Oh, thank you. I see this person, Island Yankee. I love that name. Thank you. I That's why I said toothpaste was important because
In your top five, yes, you did.
that's number one. I don't know. I used to have the most jacked up teeth in the world. Thank Shout out to braces. Shout out to Colgate. Oh no, what is it? Crest 3D White,
Yes.
y'all. Tell them to send me a check. That will get you together. That's all you need. Crest 3D White toothpaste. That's all you need. That's
You
it.
never know who's watching, so I definitely will be tagging when we're done with this show. So
You can go and you can put a screenshot. You can put that to be the dang cover. They could write me a check. I love teeth. Like I think maybe I was a dentist in a past life. I just like it's so
and that's another
important.
thing. Could you see yourself taking that on too? Dance and so many other things. Because you literally do it all already as it is.
You're sweet. I mean, I think well, first of all, I think every artist does a lot of stuff. There's very few artists that are just like one thing because we have to
Yeah,
like eat. We
100%.
gotta eat. Dancers be like, I crochet, I babysit, I paint, I sing opera, I play an instrument. The other day I met this girl in class. She was like, I am a dancer in this company, and then when I'm not dancing, I play the cello. What? You know what I mean? Like, been playing the cello since she was little. Like, you just don't know. But for me, yeah, I've been teaching a lot. That's what I've done the last year, which I kind of fell in love with it. Um, Not that I'm not gonna dance. Dance is always gonna be like number one in my heart, but teaching is a close second because I think, like you said, I care about the next generation and I care about giving things that I didn't necessarily get as a younger person, like being kind, giving you the real deal, but like lovingly. Sometimes I got that and I want to share that kind of energy. I've gotten you suck and throw a shoe at you. I've gotten that energy, which is kind of helpful, but it can be overwhelming and not so good for your self esteem. So I like to build up people, like build you up and say
Yeah,
like you can do it. And like can't is a bad word in my classroom. You can't say can't. You could say I don't know how, or I'm working on it, but we don't say can't. So I'm just encouraging people to like basically do what you're doing, manifest the lives and the things that they
yeah,
want and not focus on what they can't do or their weaknesses. Who cares about that? We all got those. So I love to teach. I love doing tarot. I got into tarot like maybe 3, 4 years ago, fell in love with it. That's a funny story because I was away dancing with this company at the time, and the choreographer had a deck. I'd never seen this. I was like, "What is this?" And he was like, "We're gonna do a reading every day just to get some inspiration." He just laid the cards out. He flipped up a
mm,
card. He like everybody. He was like, "Pick your own card." Why did I get the same card like 2, 3 times in the same week? I kept getting the same card, and that's how I knew there's something going on. Jesus trying to tell me something. Oh, by the way, tarot is not necessarily a religion. You can be Christian and do tarot. You can be atheist. It does not it has nothing to do with that unless you want it to. It's
yeah,
just a practice. And so when you do it, it's just like the cards kind of telling you, like, hey, this is something to look at, think about. That's it. It's not like you're going to die in 7 days. It's not the ring. It's literally just like, hey, like for me, that card I kept getting, it was called the Magician. And the Magician, it made me cry because I got it multiple times and I was going through a lot of change. And it said the card meant you have the power to manifest whatever it is that you desire. Like you are the
mm,
magician, and that the power is within you and has always been within you. And I like broke down because I felt like at that time my life was kind of spiraling, and it kept reminding me over and over, you have the power. And so I started to own that. So tarot kind of saved me.
it's
So
powerful. 'Cause I used to get mine read by a friend of mine, and she pulled one card and she said, "This is literally you've died, and it was something." She told me you've been reborn. Basically, one of the cards that she gave me. She said you were reborn. You're going in a new direction with your career and different things in life. You're letting go of certain things. So you're not the same
Hmm.
person. You have been reborn. You've been born again. So one of those cards were just like, wow, it made me kind of think and reflect. Like, there are some changes being made. I am going in a new direction, and this is something that I've manifested. So powerful.
I'm so happy you had that because now that, especially like we keep talking about melanated people, but hey, we melanated people. Sometimes they be scared, you know, they be like, that's the devil. And I'm like, listen, I think that honestly, I talk to God before I do a reading. I say, God, tell me what I need to know, or tell this person what they need to know. Because I don't think God how can God do something that's so helpful to you and me? Like, how could that be from the devil? It doesn't make sense to me. It's helpful, you know. God works in many ways, you know.
Absolutely. I'm from Barbados and NYC, so Island Yankee it is. Yep.
I respect it. I respect it. That's cool. Come on, Barbados and New York. It's real. I don't know the word. I almost say international, but it's just like we all across the state lines up in this room. It's been really cool. It's fun.
To be able to connect with each other is perfect. 100%. All right, Fashion Dolls, any questions for myself or Malcolm? This is such a great conversation, and I hope you guys are learning something about this because there have been a lot of misconceptions about tarot reading. Even for me, I was kind of skeptical about it. My mama said, "You did what?" When I told her, she said, "You did what now? You went and
I
you got what
know.
read?" And I told her the end result, and she was just like, "All right." I said, if this card is saying it, and other people are saying the same thing that this tarot reader is saying is true, and it happened into fruition of me being basically being reborn, starting over, changing the way that I do things business wise. And people are
Hmm.
like, "My, something different about you. You changed a lot." I said, "I know. I had to cut loose of certain things. Couldn't hold on to it."
I love that. You touched my heart. Yeah, tarot is is an amazing thing if you are open to it. If you come into it with this like, it's like it's not
Which is
that.
exactly how I kind of was.
But there's not a single card I can assure you that will say you are hopeless, all hope is lost, pack your bags up and just go lay down. There's no card that says that. It's just like, hey, look at your finances. Maybe you should save some more money. You've been reborn. I think it sounds like you got the death card, which sounds crazy, the death card. But like you said, your old self has died, not
Yeah.
you are going to die. So there's always a positive action behind it. It's never doom and gloom. So hey, if you scared, you might learn something. You might be surprised. I'm a big advocate for astrology, for tarot, for meditation. That's just me. I'm that kind of like woo woo person,
Right.
but it speaks to me. If it doesn't speak to you, then okay, no worries. But find something that speaks to you. Something.
And your spirit. I'm in South
It,
Carolina. I'm very overprotective over Stevie. One call and I'm coming. LOL. That that is right.
the, and you need friends like that. That's a great
And I
thing.
and I'm thankful for it. I'm thankful for it that I have people that are protective over me and watching out for me, knowing my best interest. That's another thing that was in the reading that she gave me as well too. And she said it doesn't necessarily mean that you passing on is a bad thing. It means that you have been reborn. Something is being manifested. Something is being creative. And she also mentioned creativity because I do love to create. I'm very hands on. I'm always putting something in perspective. I'm always wanting to create something or develop an idea. So I'm always thinking ahead of the lens, even with fashion. That's why I've gotten into it because it's like the trends are always changing. They do not stay the same. And that in itself is art. Change is beautiful and there's nothing wrong with that. So that's another thing she pointed out to me. She said, "You transitioning and coming back to life again it's a beautiful thing. It's just a rebirth, a new beginning, a new clean slate. That's all it
Amen. You sound like you need a little side hustle of motivational speaking and positive, because I can tell you don't come off like a, I don't know, I can feel what you're saying. I think you
Yeah.
really live this. You're not presenting this thing, you really live this, which is very inspiring, because sometimes people are like, I'm scared about this and I'm worried about that, but you have to find the more you live your truth, you become more strong, and you have more trust and more faith. I think when you walk by faith, I don't know how this got into this conversation.
Which is the truth. Which is the truth. When you learn to just accept things you cannot change and to walk through life without fear, it in a way it makes you powerful. It makes you feel good about yourself. It makes you, more importantly, confident. So that's how, because it wasn't easy. It didn't come overnight for
Oh
me. I
no.
had to definitely rebuild it all up so that I could get in touch and in tune with who I was as that person. And it's been a beautiful experience for me. I wouldn't change it in the world, even as we transition on, because our time here on earth is temporary.
So you gotta
That's one
use
thing.
it.
Yes,
Let's
I
use it.
always want to be remembered for that. It's just the fearlessness and the carefree spirit and energy that I give and rub off on people. So yeah.
I love that. Okay, girl, I see you. I see you.
Now, I hope a lot of people are paying attention to that because, yeah, confidence. A lot of people think, oh, I can go and, confidence, it can just get it like that. No, some people really,
No.
it takes time to come out of your shell because I wasn't always this outspoken or this powerful woman that you guys see today. It definitely, like, I really had to do some soul searching, and we all do. Like, we sit and we have these conversations with ourselves, and we sometimes have to hold ourselves accountable for certain things. And for me, I've done it, and I've said, what do I need to change about myself? Just not the aesthetic, no, but it's just
No,
certain things that I
from
really,
within.
yeah,
Mm.
from within, my heart, my spirit, my energy, all of these things that I need to work on and change about myself. And do I regret changing it? No, I don't regret changing it because I don't want to stay stuck in that same position, being like a broken
Hmm.
record over and over again. No, I want to evolve, and there's nothing wrong
Come
with
on.
evolving and
Evolution.
changing.
That's the word. That's the word. That's not even a segment, but it should be the word of the day. Evolution. Yes, yes. Because if you do the same thing expecting a different result, it's insanity. So that's something I really resonate with. We have to change. And if something's not working, you gotta do something different. So I'm like, kudos to you for that.
Absolutely. And again, I see a lot of people coming in. I hope you all are taking something from this. So, do we have any questions for myself or Malcolm before we wrap up? And my last question for you is there any upcoming, wait a minute, before we get to that question. I feel like fear is an unfamiliar vibe that wants you to stay yes. And
Amen.
sometimes
Amen. Period.
you have to take that leap. Taking the leap can be scary, but take that leap. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with jumping. There's nothing
You'd
wrong
be
with,
surprised. You would be
yeah.
surprised, because if you stay on that little comfy shore, then you're just gonna get what you've always got. But if you jump, you'll be surprised. Like, man, my last few years have been nothing but just magical, just Jesus just being like here. Because like I didn't even intend to teach. I did not. I was working at like a bookstore, and God was like, he spoke through a friend, and she was like, I have an opening, do you want to teach? And I was like, I'm working at a bookstore, sure, let me get out of this bookstore. And I've been teaching. It was random, and it was just like me trusting the universe. You just have to step out on faith sometimes.
Yeah, whatever's putting out there. So my question for you is what can people expect from Malcolm in the future?
They can expect a long track. No, I'm kidding. I am in a few weeks. At the end of this month, I'm going to the Kennedy Center. For residency, shout out to Crystal Brown, the choreographer that I've worked with before. She's wonderful. Doing a residency with her. The piece is called What We Ask of Flesh. So that's happening end of this month. I'm excited because I've never been to the Kennedy Center. I'm like, that sounds fun, you know? Yeah. Thank you. You're sweet. So that's happening. And then I'm going to be my honest goal, like you said, your goal, my vision board goal is
Yeah.
Europe. I'm going to Europe. I'm claiming it. I'm going to go to Europe. I'm going to hit the step in Europe. I've never been, and that's something I've always wanted to try and like just see what could happen. Again, me stepping out on faith, God just keeps putting it on my heart. Go to
Mm.
Europe. So I want to go to like London or Paris or something. I don't know, but I want to go and like see what it's giving and be like, what's this melanin giving over here? What's the step over here?
It's coming.
So it's coming. I'm claiming it. So like, give me like a year. I'm gonna be in Europe. We're gonna have this conversation again. I would be like, I'm in Paris. What's up? It's 9 o'clock over here. What's the tea? So that's the next plan. And teaching. I'm always teaching. That pays my bills. So teaching, dancing, gonna be on a beach in Europe in like a year.
All right. So where can everyone follow you? Where can everyone check out your upcoming projects and so much more?
Oh, you can follow me. It's my name at Malcolmism, MALCOLMIZM, like like Erica Badu, like Baduism. You can study
Okay.
me.
Yes.
Malcolmism is something I like. My website, McMichael.com. I usually post things there. And yeah, I love friends. So, follow me. I'm not shady. Like we could be friends and connect. And I love especially other artists and people doing positive things.
Thank you so much for coming to the Dollhouse here. It was such a pleasure having you here, and I definitely would love to have you back on again in the future.
I would love that. This has been so much fun. Thank you. It was so nice to meet you, chat with you, and I wish you all great success with this.
Thank you so much. Such a pleasure having you here. Ladies and gentlemen, Malcolm McMichael. And this interview will be up here on IGTV in case you guys missed it. And it will also be on my YouTube channel. So head on over and subscribe. And be on the lookout for the look of the week. I gave you guys 3 different looks. So you guys can go and vote for your favorite outfit of the day. It's coming pretty soon. So you guys stay tuned for that. I love you all, and you guys have a safe and blessed weekend. No show tomorrow. Next week, we've got our girl Tina Marie in the building, and we have the fabulous Conscious TV joining us. So make sure you guys tune in for those shows. I love you, and you guys be safe this weekend. And Malcolm, it was a pleasure having you here.
It was a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
You too. All right, ladies and gentlemen, take care. You guys be safe. And I love you. And this interview will be up. So you guys be safe out there.